Marc Ostwald is the Chief Economist and Global Strategist at ADM Investor Services International.
There is, yes. I mean, the most important one, and I think the messaging from the public on this was very clear, is they want to see swift, decisive action from Takaichi and Katayama, Finance Minister, to deal with the cost of living crisis and reduce the sales tax on food from the current 8 to 0. And the plan at the moment is to suspend that for 2 years, which creates a problem further along the line, because reintroducing it obviously would reintroduce a similar sort of problem. The inflation problem isn't going to resolve itself in a great hurry, particularly if the yen remains as weak as it is.
So let's talk about the yen. There have been various talking down currencies, a lot of rhetoric going on here. What's your take?
Well, this is the bit which is interesting. I mean, the Ministry of Finance in Japan is always in charge of the yen rather than the Bank of Japan. The Bank of Japan is merely its agent. And Takaichi, while talking up the benefits of a weak yen, is not on the same page of the book as Finance Minister Katayama, who has previously said that she thinks fair value for dollar yen is somewhere in the 125 to 30 area. So we shall have to see what that implies in terms of what the Bank of Japan does. If it remains behind the curve on raising interest rates, then the yen is going to weaken. And, as we've seen before, the Bank of Japan will then have to be, effectively, they will have to green light swifter rate hikes than has been the case of late.
Well, dollar yen, a really important barometer for the health of global markets and the global economy. What do you think the international financial community is looking at from Japan now for a little bit more certainty and a more even keel?
Well, they would like to make sure that, as Finance Minister Katayama said, they won't issue extra deficit financing bonds to cover the cost of the cut to food sales tax. She said she will, but we shall see how that pans out. They're also going to be looking at, whether there's going to be any intervention on dollar yen given its current weakness, and how they might deploy their foreign exchange reserves, probably not by selling them, but by perhaps securitizing them in some form or of another, to finance the ambitious projects that Takaichi has.